This is going to be lesson 1.4, which is going to introduce the pitch Fa. Fa is one of the notes of the pentascale that we have been singing with the general ascending and descending scale. We've also been working on it with intervals. We've also been doing the jumping thirds with the pitch Fa. So we have been singing Fa in various forms already for the past several weeks. And as I'd mentioned in earlier lessons, that doing vocalises, like what we've been working on, will help with oral perception of pitches, even though we don't know what they look like yet. In order for you to read them, you have to have heard them in the past or sung them. And this is like similar the same way language is learned. When babies are born, language is not taught and they have to learn it on their own. Music, in a sense, is a type of language. And so we listen to pitches and we sing them and we copy. And then when we can learn how to identify these pitches, when we're good at doing do, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re, do, when we can do that quickly and do different acrobatic things like the jumping thirds and the intervals, when we can do do, re, do, mi, do, fa, do, sol, so, fa, so, mi, so, re, so, do. When we can do that stuff quickly, then we can start to learn how does this stuff actually look like. And that's the whole point of doing these weird exercise and call and response things and dictations. Well, dictations come later, but the singing stuff is what that's about. So we've sung Fa. Now we're going to learn how to write it and read it. So as we have done with the other lessons with do, re, mi, and sol, we are going to have the pitch, and then we're going to have the dot numbers, and then we're going to have the actual shape of the pitch. So the pitch Fa is simply spelled F-A. And hopefully you have something to write this in, preferably in Braille. So slate and stylus and paper if you're taking notes. Again, the pitch spelling of Fa is F-A. The dot numbers that are used to make the pitch Fa in Braille are 1, 2, 4, 5. And again, you need that number sign before the numbers. So I got number sign 1, 2, 4, 5. And hopefully all of you know how to make numbers. If not, you're learning how to make numbers. Lastly, for the pitch, for the pitch shape, you write out the pitch shape on the slate, and if you flip your paper over, you write out 1, 2, 4, 5 on the slate. You flip your paper over, and you're going to feel a shape that looks very similar, if not exactly, to the letter G. So the pitch Fa and the letter G share the same shape as each other. So they use the upper part of the cell, which makes it very easy to distinguish. And other than that, I mean, just the fact that it uses all 4 dots in the upper part of the cell should be nice and easy to recognize. So Fa should be one of those pitches where you won't need to have a lot of practice with, because it is so distinct in the Braille. Hopefully that will help with recognizing it. It's just the fact that it uses all 4 dots. Other than that, I can't think of anything, unless I'm gonna say, unless you want to think of the shape of fa as a flag, and F and fa begin, or flag and fa begin with an F. So you could use that too if you wanted. So next, now that we have those rough notes taken care of, we're going to move on to like pitch response, where I play pitches and little musical ditties, and then you can sing them back. Now, another option, if you so inclined, you can actually use these for dictation, in which case during the pause you would have to literally pause because I'm not going to leave enough time for you to do melodic dictation, but easily press pause, and then you could write out the answer, and then when you play the video again, it will give you it'll play the pitches again, and you can actually feel to see if your answer is correct by feeling your answer and listening and singing along to see if what you wrote is the same answer. Or else you could try to play them on the piano. That would be a way of checking answers. So yeah, so I am going to give the numbers as they are. I'm going to play each exercise, leave a pause, like a blank space, and then I'll play the exercise again and then move on to the next. So here we go. There are 8 of these. So with that, here is number 9. Oh, sorry. Here's number 10 again. Getting excited. Here's number 9 again. And here is number 10. And here is number 10 again. And number 11. Number 11 again. And number 12. And number 12 again. And here's a fun one. Here's number 17. And here's number 17 again. And here is number 18. Here's number 18 again. And number 19. And here's 19 again. And lastly, here is number 20. And here's number 20 again. So again, those could be used for singing or dictation. Obviously for dictation, you have to pause it so you can write. Next, I have homework. So if you're doing recitation, which is highly recommended, by this point you should be relatively familiar with the dot spellings of do, re, mi, and sol, and fa is a new one. Hopefully it won't take too long to learn. But if you wanted to do add a little encouragement to your recitation, you can do you can work with a metronome. And for that, you simply, you turn on your metronome. You turn on your metronome and you recite the pitches and the dot numbers with each click. And as you're comfortable with lower or medium type pace, you can slowly increase it. Obviously, you don't want to like jump from 0 to 100. Not recommended. But slowly increase it, and you will find that your recovery, your recall rate will actually improve. It'll just better help strengthen the neural pathways with recall of having to recall the information that you're learning. And the recitation work is like the building blocks of all your knowledge. Once you know these, you know the notes, you know the note, the pitch and the dot numbers. That's what I'm trying to say. Once you know the pitch name and the dot numbers, and the names of the pitches, hopefully you won't need to be like feeling music and wondering what is this, because you will have done recitations all this time, and you'll just feel the dots 1, 2, 4, 5 and know, oh, that's fa. That's what the recitations are for. So this, I'm going to give a little example of how this would work with the pitch fa, since it is the new one. It would sound something like this. I have the metronome set at 70. I just moved it to 70. So this is how it sounds. Fa, 1, 2, 4, 5. Fa, 1, 2, 4, 5. And the reverse would sound like this. 1, 2, 4, 5, fa. 1, 2, 4, 5, fa. Yeah, so you could do that with all the pitches. And increasing tempo. Whoops. Where's my... Here it is. So I just moved it to 85. It's a little bit faster. It would sound like this. Fa, 1, 2, 4, 5. Fa, 1, 2, 4, 5. And the inverse, 1, 2, 4, 5, fa. 1, 2, 4, 5, fa. And once you get comfortable with that, again, this is doing it with all the pitches, not just with fa. You could increase it a little bit more. Here is 105, 105. Fa, 1, 2, 4, 5. Fa, 1, 2, 4, 5. And you can tell there's a little bit of a clip here. Fa, 1, 2, 4, 5. Fa, 1, 2, 4, 5. And the inverse, 1, 2, 4, 5, fa. 1, 2, 4, 5, fa. And again, you could increase a little bit more. This is at 120. Fa, 1, 2, 4, 5. Fa, 1, 2, 4, 5. Fa, 1, 2, 4, 5. Then the inverse would be 1, 2, 4, 5, fa. 1, 2, 4, 5, fa. If you wanted, you could continue to increase tempo. Let me see. Like, here's 135. Fa, 1, 2, 4, 5. Fa, 1, 2, 4, 5. Fa, 1, 2, 4, 5. Inverse, 1, 2, 4, 5, Fa. 1, 2, 4, 5, Fa. And gradually you'll start to notice a tempo, or a sense of almost like a chanty type thing. But that was at 105. Again, you can go faster if you wanted to. By the time you get to 120, 135, you should be able to just rattle it off. You should not be thinking much about it. And the whole point of this exercise is, again, to increase the neural pathways to quick recollection of these of the information. So that is how that would work. The next thing I added for recitation, if you're going about that route, would be intervals, where you would recite the dot number, or not the dot numbers, but the interval with the solfege. So let's drop this back down to 70, which is going to seem really slow after we went up to 130. So here's 70. If we were doing, let's say, a fourth from Do, because we're working on the pitch Fa, so the intervals would sound like this. Do, Fa, fourth. Do, Fa, fourth. Do, Fa, fourth. And that's it. And then the inverse, you could do fourth, Do, Fa. Fourth, Do, Fa. Fourth, Do, Fa. And then, of course, doing that was the ascending. The descending would sound like this. Sol, Re, fourth. So, Re, fourth. And the inverse would be fourth, So, Re. Fourth, So, Re. And then you'd gradually increase tempo again. I'm just randomly picking 105. Do, Fa, fourth. Do, Fa, fourth. Fa, or Do, Fa, fourth. Fourth, Do, Fa. Fourth, Do, Fa. And the inverse, So, Re, fourth. So, Re, fourth. Fourth, So, Re. Fourth, So, Re. And again, you could increase tempo. With the major and minor thirds, it's going to sound a little bit different, because the word major has 2 syllables. Trying to get back down to 70. So the thirds are going to sound like this. Do, Mi, major third. Okay? Do, Mi, major third. So the word major is going to be evenly split between one click of the metronome. If you wanted, you could go Do, Mi, major third, but that would be really slow, and it would just, no. Just, you could say major, and make sure that you're off right before that second click, because that's where you're going to say the third. Do, Mi, major third. Do, Mi, major third. And then for the inverse, you would go major third, Do, Mi. Major third, Do, Mi. And then for the minor third, it would be the same way. So we'd have Sol, Mi, minor third. Sol, Mi, minor third. Sol, Mi, minor third. And for the inverse, minor, third, sol, mi. Minor, third, sol, mi. And again, for the word minor, you want to be off. You don't want to be on the ER or OR while you're still on the click, for the second click. Minor, minor. So just like major, minor is going to fall within one click evenly. Okay, so that covers that. And again, you could increase tempo with those. If you wanted to do copy work, you can copy these out, write them out using slate and stylus. You could write them out as you're reciting them. It would be interesting to see if anyone wanted to write them out as they're reciting them with a metronome. Get the handwriting going with the slate and stylus. I've never done that before. I would have to try that, see if it works. So that's recitation. And copy work, you could do a line of intervals with the spelling. Obviously, you could do dictation for written work. You could do, let me see, the dot numbers. You could put down do, and then you could put out the dot numbers that represent the word do, or the pitch do, and so on and so forth, things like that. So, next, I got my phone going off. Okay, so I've answered that, whatever that was. Messages, I forgot to put it on mute or do not disturb or whatever they call it. Okay, so continuing. I have a bunch of examples of music dictation. So I am going to play through these. I'm just going to play through them like twice. And then I'm going to say pause, and then that'll give you heads up to pause, and then you can write out the exercise. And then I will then play the answer. I'm going to play each one 3 times, so that way it'll give you hearing time, like if you wanted to check hearing or check the pitches, things like that. So I will do each one 3 times. I'm going to play do before each exercise. And let me see if there's anything. There's quite a few of them. So if you want to do all of them, you can. If you don't want to do all of them, then I'm not going to make you, because I'm not your I was going to say I'm not your teacher. But if you want to do all of them, it is recommended. It will help your musical learning. That's another message. Okay, so here's number A1, and here's do, and here is the exercise. Pause. Here is A1 for the second time. Pause. And here's A1 for the third and final time. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Okay. I went to move my hand. I knocked my tablet out of my hand, and it like totally screwed with. It knocked it up, it hit my face. I'm okay. Nothing broke. Okay. We're continuing with A2. Here's do. It's a dangerous job. Pause. Here's A2 again. Pause. Here's A2 for the third and final time. And here is A3. Here's your Do. Pause. Here's A3 again. Pause. Here's A3 for the third and final time. Okay, next we're moving on to C1. Here's Do. And here is C1 for the first time. Pause. And here's C1 for the second time. Pause. Here's C1 for the third and final time. And here is C2. There's your Do. Pause. Here's C2 for the second time. Pause. Here's C2 for the third and final time. And letter H. Here is H1. Here is your Do. Pause. Here is H1 again. Pause. And here's H1 for the third and final time. And here is H2. Here's your Do. Pause. Here's H2 for the second time. Pause. Here's H2 for the third and final time. Next, we're moving on to H3. Here is your Do. And here is H3 for the first time. Pause. Here's H3 again for the second time. Pause. And H3 for the third and final time. Next, we move on to letter K. Here is K1. Here's your Do. And here's K1 for the first time. I'm going to do that again. Here's K1 for the first time. Pause. Here's K1 for the second time. Pause. Here's K1 for the third time. Pause. And here's K1 for the fourth and final time. Here is, here's K2. Here's your Do. Pause. Here's K2 again for the second time. Pause. And here's K2 for the third and final time. Next, we move on to letter J. Here is J1. Here's your Do. And here is J1 for the first time. Pause. Here's J1 for the second time. Pause. Here is J1 for the third and final time. Next, we move on to J2, which is our last exercise. And here is your Do. And here is J2 for the first time. Pause. Here's J2 again. Pause. Here is J2 for the third and final time. And that's it. So I will post answers to these in a separate video, and then you could check yourself to see how well you did. The vocalises are the same as what we have done before. I didn't write out pitches because by now we should be familiar with the pitches, but I will go through real quick and I will just play them so that you have an idea of what they sound like. And then the next lesson will be kind of like a review of all the pitches using Do, Re, Mi, Fa, and Sol. So here we go with the, I'm just going to play through these real quick for you as kind of like a refresher kind of thing. So here we go. Here is the pentatonic or the pentascale, which is just the first 5 notes. And descending. if you wanted, you could go and do without that repeated note up at the top. You could play it or sing it like this. Do, do, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do. So you go up, and then you right away go back down. You don't have to stop up at the top if you don't want to. And the descending would sound like this. So, fa, mi, re, do, re, mi, fa, so. So that's how that would sound. Next we have the pentascale. These are the additives. So this would be, it'd sound like this. And that is the ascending. And the descending is going to sound like this. And that is how that would sound. If you wanted to try this, I'm trying to think if it could be done without the repeated note at the top or the bottom. You could do something like this. Do, re, mi, re, do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re, do. So that's how that would sound. And the descending would sound like this. So, fa, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re, do, re, mi, fa, so. So that's what it would sound like without the repeated notes. If you want to try to do that, and you'd have to work out like where you're going to breathe. And we could talk about that later. So the intervals are was basically what we're doing with the recitation, where you have, that's your major second. You can play them or you could sing them and then recite the pitches or the intervals. So like this would be do, voice is cracking. Do, re, do, second. Or else you could do do, re, second, do, mi, major third. So again, you'd have to squeeze that major third into one beat there. Do, fa, fourth, do, sol, fifth, and then descending would be so, fa, fifth. Oh my gosh, I'm totally not paying attention. So, fa, second, so, mi, minor third. Again, you got to squeeze minor third into one beat there. So, re, fourth, so, do, fifth. And that's how that would be done if you want to play them. If you want to sing them, it would, sound the same. Do, re, mi, do, re, second, do, mi, major third, do, fa, fourth, do, sol, fifth. So it'd be the same thing. And then descending obviously would be descending. So then we got jumping intervals. That's what we have been working on. If you wanted, again, if you want to sing them without the little repeated note, it would sound like this. It would go, I'm going to do this slowly. do, mi, re, fa, mi. I'm not paying attention. Do, mi, re, fa, mi, sol, mi, fa, re, mi, do. I don't know if you got that. Do, mi, re, fa, mi, sol, mi, fa, re, mi, do. So that's the ascending without the repeated note. For the descending without the repeated note would sound like this. So, whoa. So, fa, whoa. So, mi, re. I'm like totally falling asleep here. That's what it would sound like. I gotta think on the solfege. Fa, mi, so, mi, fa, re, mi, do, mi, re, fa, sol, or mi, sol. That's how that would sound. That's that. And then the scale, the chord. This is the tonic chord. We've been doing it like just something like that. If you want to do this without the repeated note, it would sound like do, mi, sol, mi, do. That's how that would sound ascending, and descending would sound like this. So, mi, do, mi, sol. And that's how that would sound. Yeah, those jumping thirds, jumping with those intervals, they're not easy. So, and the fact that I've been trying to get this video up for at least like the whole weekend, or like since Thursday, Friday, and doing retakes and stuff, is just like, it's a lot of work. So, I hope you guys are able to comprehend with that. If not, like, send me a message, comment or something. But yeah, so this is the lesson for fa. I'm posting it as it is, and the next lesson will be out when I get the notes prepared. Still working on notes on that one. But yeah, so I hope you all have a good day, and we'll talk with you next time. Bye.